Welcome back to the deep dive. You know the drill. We take your sources, peel back the layers, and get to the critical insights you need.
And today, we're focusing on something we all do, probably without a second thought.
Exactly. Passing vehicles on multi-lane roads. Our research kept showing that this maneuver, this thing we do every day, often carries more risk than drivers realize.
That's right, and we should be really clear up front. We're talking about moving between lanes, going in the same direction. On a highway or a freeway.
We're not talking about crossing a center line into oncoming traffic. That's a whole different ballgame.
A very different risk profile. But the risks here are just as acute.
The moment you start accelerating and moving sideways, you introduce all these new variables. Speed, space, control, they all compound the risk so quickly.
So our mission today is to turn that routine action into a deliberate defensive maneuver.
We're going to get into the technical stuff. How does your positioning, your closing speed, and that split-second decision-making, how does that change your risk?
We want you to walk away with a real blueprint. Not just what the rules are, but, why they exist. Let's start with those hidden risks.
Yeah, Section 1, the unseen hazards. Because when you're going 65, maybe 75 miles an hour, there's just no room for error. A tiny miscalculation, and you've got a sideswipe.
It escalates fast.
So what are those specific, maybe non-obvious dangers we need to be thinking about?
It's interesting. From a risk perspective, drivers tend to focus on the car they want to pass, the one in front.
Sure, that's the obstacle.
Right. But the most common collisions actually involve the cars you don't see, or the car you just passed. We synthesize 5 critical points of danger from the sources.
Okay, let's break them down.
First, the big one, blind spots. And I know everyone's heard this, but it's a physical reality. Your mirrors just do not give you a 360-degree view. The car right next to you, matching your speed, can just vanish for a few seconds. So the mitigation has to be absolute. Check your mirrors, yes, but you must do a physical shoulder check.
That quick turn of the head.
Without exception. It's the only way to be sure.
I think we're all guilty of skipping that sometimes, when we're in a rush or the road looks clear.
And that's when it gets you.
All
It's
right.
the only true defense. Okay, second, and this is about technical positioning, is the danger of returning to your lane too soon.
I've seen this happen. The person passes and then immediately cuts back in.
We see it all the time. The driver pulls back in, cuts off the other car, or even worse, clips their own rear quarter panel.
So what's the hard rule here? How do you know for sure that you've got enough space?
The hard rule is this. You have to be able to see the entire front of the vehicle you passed, both headlights, in your rear view mirror.
Not the side mirror, the rear view.
The rear view. If you can't see their whole front end in that center mirror, you're just too close. You're cutting off their reaction time.
Got it. What's number 3?
Number 3 is about physics. Misjudging speed and closing distance. That's the rate at which you're approaching the car ahead of you in the passing lane.
Your closing speed.
Exactly. If you misjudge that gap, or how fast your car can actually accelerate, you end up stuck alongside the other vehicle for way too long.
And that just increases your exposure to risk, right?
Massively. So the mitigation isn't just to floor it. It's about making sure you had enough room to begin with, and then accelerating smoothly and, of course, legally.
Always staying within the speed limit. We'll come back to that one.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, fourth, the human factor. Aggressive drivers. The sources were clear on this. Some drivers get triggered when you try to pass them.
They speed up.
They speed up to block you.
Yeah.
Intentionally. The only way to handle this is defensively. Stay calm, do not engage, and be ready to abort the pass.
Just back off.
Just back off. No pass is worth a collision. It takes real self-control, but you have to de-escalate.
That's maybe the hardest part, right? To swallow your pride and just fall back in line.
It is. And finally, number 5 is simple. Assess the environmental issues before you even start. Is there a blind hill coming up? A sharp curve? Potholes? Ice?
Anything that limits your visibility or your control.
Any of those should be an automatic no. Don't even start the maneuver.
That's a great framework. But before we get into the how, we need to talk about the where not to. The law.
Right. To pass safely, you first have to know where it's definitively illegal to pass. This is, the geography of no.
And these zones exist for a reason.
They exist because the probability of conflict is just too high. The clearest signals are the road markings, the solid yellow lines.
Okay, let's do a quick refresher.
If the solid yellow line is on your side of the center, passing is prohibited for you. If it's double solid yellow lines, no one is passing in either direction.
Simple enough.
But it's not just the lines. The physical geography of the road is often a bigger sign.
What kind of locations are we talking about?
Well, they're mostly areas where you can't see what's coming, so
Yeah.
limited visibility areas. You must not pass on sharp curves or steep hills.
Because you have no idea what's over that crest.
Exactly. Could be a stopped car, could be debris. You're driving blind. Second are high interaction areas. Think about it. Intersections, railroad crossings, pedestrian crosswalks.
Too many variables.
Way too many. Cars, trains, people. They can enter your path suddenly, unpredictably. So passing there is just forbidden. You're minimizing conflict from another axis.
Makes sense.
And finally, there are restricted space areas. Narrow bridges, tunnels, overpasses. There's just no margin for error. Plus, you have special zones like construction and active school zones where passing is almost always prohibited.
And you'll often see that triangular yellow no passing zone sign too.
That's the final legal warning. If you see that, the discussion is over.
Okay, so let's unpack this. We know the risks, we know the no zones. So if the road is clear, the lines are dashed, what is the specific 4-step blueprint for a safe pass?
This is the procedure, and every step is non-negotiable. Step 1. Assess the situation. This is more than a glance. You're checking traffic ahead, traffic behind, road conditions.
And reconfirming it's legal.
And reconfirming it's legal. You're building complete situational awareness.
Okay, so we've assessed. We're good to go. What's next?
Step 2. Prepare to pass. Now you start your checks, rear view mirror, side mirror, and then the essential one. The shoulder check for the blind spot.
There it is again.
Always. Once you confirm it's clear, you signal. And you signal well in advance. Give other drivers time to react to what you're about to do.
Preparation's done, now the actual execution. This is where we manage that closing speed.
Exactly. Step 3. Execute the pass. You change lanes smoothly, no jerking the wheel. Now you accelerate safely and efficiently. The goal is to minimize your time in that other lane.
So efficiency is key, not just raw speed.
Precisely. But, and this is critical, you have to complete the pass while staying within the posted speed limit.
So you can't legally speed up to get around someone.
No, which means you need to plan ahead. Make sure you have the space and acceleration to do it legally, and then, of course, maintain a firm grip on the wheel.
Okay, so we're past the car. What's the final step?
Step 4. Return to your lane. First, signal your intent to return. Then move back smoothly. And this is where we reinforce that key safety check.
The rearview mirror rule.
The rearview mirror rule. You only move back once you can see the entire front of the passed vehicle in your center rearview mirror. That guarantees you're not cutting them off.
That 4-step sequence, assess, prepare, execute, return, is a fantastic mental checklist. What about passing, say, a whole line of cars?
The sources advise against it. Avoid trying to pass multiple vehicles at once.
Why is that?
You just dramatically increase your time exposed in the other lane, and your view of the road ahead gets completely blocked by the cars you're passing.
Yeah.
It's much lower risk to pass one, get back in, and then reassess.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me. Let's talk hard numbers. Speed and distance. There's this impulse to just punch it when you pass, right? To get it over with.
Very common impulse.
So what's the non-negotiable legal truth? Are you ever allowed to exceed the speed limit when passing?
Let me be unequivocal. And no, it is explicitly illegal. Trying to pass by speeding, even a little, it just exponentially increases the risk of a severe accident, not to mention the ticket.
It's about efficiency and timing within the legal limit.
That's it, which means your positioning beforehand is even more important. You can't start too close.
Which brings us to following distance. What's the rule there?
The minimum guideline is the 3-second following distance from the vehicle you plan to pass before you even start the maneuver.
So how do we measure that on the road?
You use a fixed point, a sign, a bridge, whatever.
Yeah.
When the car in front of you passes that point, you start counting. 1001, 1002, 1003.
And if you reach that point before you finish counting?
You're too close. You need to back off. And that's a minimum. In rain or snow or behind a big truck, you need to increase that to 4, 5, even 6 seconds.
Right. Okay, last scenario, the one we touched on, the high tension one. You start to pass, and the other driver speeds up to block you. What's the immediate protocol?
The protocol is simple and firm. Safety over ego. If you can't complete the pass safely without speeding yourself or without cutting them off, you abort the pass immediately.
And aborting just means pulling back.
It means signaling your intent to return, checking your mirrors and blind spot one last time, and moving smoothly back into the lane behind them.
Do not engage.
Do not engage. Don't try to outspeed them. Don't brake check them. Backing off is the highest form of defensive driving. If their behavior was really reckless, get their details and report it, but only after you are completely clear of the situation.
We've covered a lot of ground today, from hidden risks all the way to the specific blueprint.
We have. And the takeaways are all connected. It's about vigilance, those shoulder checks. It's about adherence to the rules, no speeding. And it's about the discipline to follow that four-step process.
And if we connect it all back, safe passing isn't just about following rules. It's about mastering those technical concepts, optimizing your positioning and managing your closing speed to minimize your time at risk.
Exactly. You're managing your exposure. Which leads to a final thought for you to consider.
Okay.
We talked about closing speed. So think about this. How might choosing a lane that's traveling only slightly faster than the one next to it, say 5 or 7 miles per hour faster, actually make passing safer?
Because your margin for error is bigger?
Your margin for error is bigger and your closing speed is much more manageable versus trying to pass in a lane that's moving 20 miles per hour faster where everything happens in a flash.
A subtle but powerful difference in strategy, something to apply the next time you're on the highway. Thank you for joining us for the deep dive. Drive safely.
Please like, subscribe, and get notified.